Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Bull Take Scouting Podcast. I'm pumped to share this one with you because we got a special guest today, Purdue linebacker and 2022 NFL draft prospect, Jaylan Alexander. What's up, Jaylan?
What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing?
We're doing good. So we'll hop right into this interview. Start off with a few pretty easy questions. So when did you start playing football, and what made you fall in love with the game?
I started playing football when I was 5 years old. Really, I don't know. It's just ever since I came out the womb loving football. For real, it's just I don't know. It was just something about the sport. I always had a football when I was young. I had jerseys. I got pictures of me wearing a Cleveland Brown jersey. I done had football in my hand since I was a baby. So it's just my love just always been there. So it's always been genuine.
Yeah, a few of the guys we've had on for interviews have said they started playing young. 5, 6, 7 years old, and I
Yeah.
always love seeing those kids run around. The helmets are way too big on them. The tiny little bodies running around. It's so funny to watch.
Yeah, those was the times, man. I miss those times for real.
Do you have a favorite memory from your football career?
I got a lot of memories. I remember. So when I was younger, I used to play lineman. I was a lineman like for offense, but when I always played linebacker though. But I was always a bigger kid, so I was always like on the older levels. So I was always with the older kids and stuff. But what's crazy is my quarterback I snapped to when I was a young kid was my quarterback in high school. And we're gonna get to
Wow.
that when y'all talk about that. But I got a lot of memories, man. I played for a couple different teams, but it was never I went back to my old youth football program when I was like probably like sixth, seventh grade, eighth grade, and it was the love was just like, okay, I'm back at my home, like where it all started when I was younger. So it was good, man. Those times was good.
So you said that you started off snapping to your quarterback, but then in high school you were catching touchdowns from him as a wide receiver. So how do you end up transitioning at some point on the offensive side of the ball from offensive line to wide receiver?
So yeah, so the whole time I was younger, man, I was playing lineman, but I was playing guard, I was playing tackle. I was a good center. I always knew how to really block, and so I was just doing that for a long time. But as I got older, I lost weight. I got skinnier, and by my probably like I want to say like sixth grade, seventh grade was my first year ever running the ball as a running back, but I was still playing linebacker and stuff. And I actually played D line a little bit too, so I still got the D line work. But I started playing running back, and ever since then I was playing running back, and I got to my junior year, and my coach moved me to receiver. I'm like, I don't know how to play receiver, but my one of my friends was a receiver, so I really just learned off him for real and watching NFL receivers trying to learn. But I wasn't no receiver though, so it was just like it's different.
You miss being down in the trenches?
I mean, those times was fun, but I'm a backer now, so I like flowing over the ball, I like seeing everything and getting to the ball. But them trenches definitely it's definitely different in the trenches though.
Yeah, it's different all right down there.
It's definitely different.
Do you
I
think your
played a little bit of
background?
DN.
I
What'd you
was gonna
say?
I was
What
gonna ask.
happened?
Go ahead. I
So
was
I
I was
mean,
gonna ask if your background at all these positions, including wide receiver, how that's helped you playing linebacker.
You went in. You went out a little bit. You went out at the end a little bit.
Yeah, I was just asking how your background playing all these positions, including wide receiver, how that's helped you at the linebacker position.
Man, that helps me. It helps me a lot, really. Playing receiver, I had to learn, how to read defenses. I had to learn, okay, if this corner is, right here, if he's sitting, he might be in cover two, he might be man, just depending on what he's doing. If that safety's high and it's another safety low, he might be in cover three, and this corner playing off, okay, I might run a hitch and sit it down. Certain things like that help me to when I'm, on defense, I understand what's going on when, if it's cover two, the receiver he might run a curl. He trying to sit behind me. He trying to find that zone, that empty hole behind me. So it helps me determine. And I play running back too. So when I'm playing backer now, I can just tell and feel like, okay, he about to get the ball. I can feel where he about to go. Because when I'm thinking, I'm really the back without the ball. So I'm flowing with him, and I can really tell because I played offense. I know what's going on, so it helps me a lot actually. So I really and I didn't like it when I played receiver, but now I understand what my high school coach was doing for me. In the future, it helps me a lot. So
And
I'm blessed he did that.
that shows up on tape too. You can see like your instincts,
Yeah,
and that's something that you can't really teach someone. But it makes a lot of sense that you really got those instincts from playing on the offensive side of the ball, from playing running back, from playing wide receiver. So that definitely makes a lot of sense.
exactly. And playing lineman too. When I was younger, I can it gives me the little senses and the little reads of when a lineman is about to pull or if he's about to down block. I can just feel all those things because I've played both sides of the ball. So it's a blessing. That's why I love defense because I can get to that ball faster.
Yeah, that's definitely super valuable to have played all those positions. And to go back to your recruiting process, you were recruited by really a whole variety of schools, including Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan, NIU, New Mexico, and you picked Purdue. And obviously, Purdue really is the best football program of all of those schools that offered you. But were there any additional reasons that made you pick Purdue?
Really, my whole thing was, you named a lot of MAC schools, and I love the MAC. It's great competition, but at the time, I felt like I was better than the MAC. I feel like I could compete at a much higher level. So I always, I had those few schools in mind like NIU and Central Michigan. One of my teammates from high school, he went to Central Michigan. So, I had a few schools in mind, but it was just like, I want to play at the highest level that I know I can play at. So, that's really why I just kept pushing myself. And once I got that Purdue off, I was like, it's the Big Ten. It's 2 hours away from the crib. My little sister was just born. I didn't want to, have her forget about me. So it was a lot of reasons why I felt like Purdue was a good fit. The school in here, you can't get no better schooling than this. So it's just like a lot of reasons. And I love playing in the Big Ten. It's the best competition in the country. So why not? I love it.
Yeah, that's definitely super difficult to turn down. And you said you thought you were better than the MAC, that you could come in and really be productive at one of these bigger conference schools, and that definitely happened because as a true freshman at Purdue, you were already just playing in 11 games. You started two of them. You were a valuable contributor, and you've really steadily improved since then. And last season, you were just really a full time starter, playing next to NFL draft pick Derek Barnes, getting a lot of tackles. And so what's gone into that progression that you've made season by season the past 3 years?
Man, really, developing. I feel like that's one thing, kids you have to do in college. You have to develop, man. I learned a lot. I had mistakes. I learned from my mistakes, and that's the biggest thing, is is you gonna learn from your mistakes, or you gonna keep making those same mistakes. And I felt like, throughout my career, I've made my mistakes and I've corrected them every time, and I got better and I progressed every year. Having Marcus Bailey around, he was All American backer. He went to the Bengals. Having him around, having guys like Derek around, and a few other guys that was around, that helped me progress. And I seen them and seen what the right thing to do. So it was just like, just doing that just helped me, and seeing that, being around that, helped me become to where I am now. And it was just a blessing to have this type of learning experience.
Yeah, let's hop into your tape a little bit. You have the speed and the football IQ. When reading offenses, you make a great path to the football. Um, and linebackers that can do that can get to the ball carrier really well or seem to be really productive in the NFL. Would you agree that some of those are your biggest strengths?
I would definitely agree that's some of my biggest strengths. Being sideline to sideline, fast reading the ball. That's my game. I love getting to the ball because I play offense, so I love scoring touchdowns, but I can't do that no more. So what can I do? I can go get the ball. I can get fumbles. I can get picked. I can run to the ball. It's just different things like that. That pursuit to the ball is a different feeling than catching the ball and running with the ball to a touchdown. Just see ball, get ball. That's just what I love to do. So it's definitely some of my big strength because that's what I love to do. So I just continue to work on those things, and I've got better at a lot of different things because I never really used to know how to play with my hands a lot. I as I got older and I start really learning how to play backer, your hands is the key thing to everything. So I definitely got better with my hands over the years. So it helps me to scrape better. It helps me to play sideline to sideline and be fast and make those plays that I know I can make.
And something else I really liked on tape, you do a really nice job getting skinny, getting through on blitzes and stuff like that. Does that come from being a running back and knowing how to maneuver yourself through holes and stuff?
I definitely, I definitely would say that. You know, I, I do. I don't really tell people this, but when I train, I don't really train as a backer. I do a lot of offensive training because I've trained as I've been on offense and I understand what that type of training can do for me on the defensive side of the ball. It helps me be athletic. It helps me be skinny and be able to maneuver my body differently. So like playing receiver, doing receiver drills or doing DB drills, like those really the best to me the best athletes on the field because they know how to control their body, they know how to control their hips. So like doing those type of drills helps me be able to do that at backer, and I think that's why I'm be considered an athletic backer because I can do those things.
Yeah, I think that's really showing and anyone who's watching, and particularly anybody who's a younger football player. Man, don't limit yourself to one position because you can see just how beneficial it is to have background
Exactly.
like on both sides of the ball at several positions because that's only going to help you when you end up narrowing down to one. And to move on to well, the other side of this question is any good player knows that there's always stuff they can improve on. So, are there any specific areas of your game that you're looking to improve ahead of your senior season, and any personal goals that you're setting for the 2021 season?
Uh, like you said, man, it's always things to work on. And, my thing is just 1% better, get 1% better every day. And that's in everything. I don't necessarily think I'm perfect in any area of my game. So just getting 1% better in every area of my game, whether it's hands or pass rush or getting off a block or working on my breaks or working on my stance. Just basic things like that. Like it gives me a sense of motivation to like, okay, you getting better every day and you getting better on every area of your game. So that's really what, helps me get better at those type of things. Any goals that I have a lot of goals. And, my number one goal is to win. I want to win games. It's my last season. So I'm gonna give it everything I got. I'm gonna give my teammates everything I got. And we gonna go to battle and we're gonna have a great season. So I definitely want to win a lot of games, go out with a bang. Uh, any personal goals, I want to win the buckets. You know, that's my goal. So I'm definitely gonna do what I got to do in order to make that happen. So that's what I'm focused on. But I'm focused on just getting better every day. As long as I do that, those things will come.
Yeah, I love hearing guys who are just like, yeah, I want to win because if you're putting the team first, well, you're prioritizing yourself too. Because if you're doing everything you can for the team to win, you're getting better as a player too, and that's going to help you in your career. So that's definitely the right mindset. And gearing towards your team, you guys went 2-4 last year, but when you look at those four losses, they were three of them were one score games. All of them were
Really
games
close.
that you guys were firmly in. So what has the team been doing to be able to win those games in those close situations this year? And what are some of the goals that the team is setting for the season?
To me, I feel like in those type of games, it comes down to finishing. It comes down to the little things. It comes down to discipline. Because those, it's not like you said, it's not like we were getting blown out. It's not like the point, differential was big. It was small. So that tells you it was small things that happened in order for us to lose. So what we've been focusing on is the small things, is discipline, is working hard, is finishing. I feel like we had a good spring, we had a good summer. I feel like this is probably one of the best times we ever trained as hard as we did. It's one of the best times we focused on the little things and focused on discipline. So I feel like I definitely feel in my body that it's gonna be different this year because the way we trained in the off season, the way we approached the off season. So now we got camp coming up in a few days, and based off of the work we put in, our camp is going to be good. And as long as we continue to get better and focus on, getting better, 1% better every day, and focus on the little things, focus on discipline, focus on finishing everything, we're going to have a great season. And that's all it comes down to.
And moving on with talking about your team a little bit more, while watching Purdue games, you can't help but notice George Karlaftis along that defensive line.
My boy.
What are the benefits to you as a linebacker having someone that talented anchoring along the line?
Man, having somebody like George, man, having somebody like, our whole D line, they're great. They get to the ball. They get to the quarterback. And that gives me a sense of relief because, okay, I'm dropping into coverage. Now I rely on my D line to get to that quarterback. So we don't have no, problems going on. Even if I'm blitzing, it gives a sense to the DBs. Okay, the front seven gonna get to the quarterback. We got the coverage. So it gives us a sense of teamwork and sense of everybody's working together as one. Having somebody like George, the All-American, one of the best pass rushers in college football. I feel like that's amazing because now I got him in front of me making plays. I got myself making plays, and we just work off each other and we play ball. And, that's really all it comes down to, and playing one as a team, and that's what I love.
That reminds me of the last play in the Iowa game last year, where you're coming up the middle, you're blitzing the quarterback, you end up getting a quarterback hit, and that gives your secondary the chance to like clearly bat down the ball and end the game, seal the win. So how did it feel being able to coordinate that whole play and personally to make that quarterback hit that ends up allowing your team to seal a 1-0 start to the season against a good Iowa team?
It was good. I feel like last year we had a good off season, and it went into the fall. But the thing is, we had COVID. We didn't really know if we was gonna play. Our games got canceled. A lot of things like that. So it was hard to see how it was going, work coming into the fall. But we was able to come into the fall strong, and it was just great, man. Because it was like we worked that whole off season, even though we was dealing with COVID and all the restrictions and not being, together and not training. We actually was together. We finished the game. We was as a team. We was as one. That's all it's about. So it felt good because it felt like that was a good team win. That was a good time to be on defense. Defense win championships. I always want to be the last people on the field. Why not? Because we can make plays like that. So it feels good when we work together as a team, and that's how I was able to make that play because we was all working as one.
Yeah, and we've heard some scouts toss around a 6th-round grade for you. I think both Kosta and I see you a little bit higher than that. But going into your final season, what does it mean to you to be considered an NFL draft prospect, and how much is the draft on your mind as you come into the season?
Uh, it means a lot. It's a blessing because this is what I've been working my whole life for. And it's just amazing to feel like it's here already. So it feels good. I'm focused heavy on it, but I'm also focused on winning and also focused on getting 1% better every day because I know, them grades can change. I already know. I know in my head what's going on. Everything written already. All I gotta do is put in the work. So I'm not really too focused on that. But at the end of the day, we're gonna see who the best. All I gotta do is work.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's already a great basis to be really considered as a consensus draftable prospect heading into your last season, because then you're not just confirming that, you're getting the chance to build on that and really improve your draft stock. And I mean, as long as you stick to that mindset and get better 1% every day, it's just going to come itself. So you definitely don't have to be fully thinking about it all the time, just trying to help your team, getting better yourself, and it's going to come. And we touched on this a little earlier, both of us, when we were talking about some of the guys you've played alongside with. Derek Barnes last season, Marcus Bailey the year before, and then there was also the year before you came, Jawan Bentley, who's now captain captain for the New England Patriots. So Purdue in recent years has had a lot, like 3 linebackers get drafted, which is really impressive. And so how much did it help you to play alongside 2 of these guys? And is that really motivation to be able to follow in their footsteps?
It's definitely motivation following their footsteps. You know, I always say all the time, man. I know they waiting on me, man. I know they got a jersey waiting, signed for me, waiting for me when I get there. So it's definitely a motivation. Those my boys, though. Those my brothers. Those my brothers. Those my brothers. So you know, it's good to have that type of guidance and have that type of that learning experience that I had with them. So I'm blessed for it, and I can't wait. Hopefully one day I see them boys. We can swap them jerseys, man. Those gonna be the first jerseys in my house. I'm gonna put them up. Glad some both. Like, yeah, these my boys, man.
Man, that'll be an awesome moment. And talking about the NFL, we like to ask this question to everybody, see what kind of answers we get. But who do you have a
hmm
couple NFL role models or guys that you model your game after?
Uh, I'm gonna be honest, man. For a long time, I never really had anybody I really wanted to model my game after. I always, just took pieces and bits of, people and wanted to just be my own person. And but as I got better, as I started learning and studying the game and realizing like, okay, what do I really want to be like? I still want to be like myself, but the demeanor, the attitude, the everything, everything about it. So I would say Ray Lewis, definitely Ray Lewis. That in my opinion, he nasty, he aggressive, he physical, and that's what I love. He's loud, he's talk, he talks, I talk. That's just how I am. I'm loud on the field. I move stuff around. I'm pointing. I'm being loud. That's just how I am. And then you got Luke Kuechly, smart. Man, he fast, he nasty, he quick. He gonna, he nice too. I like him. It's a lot of people I can name, man. Devin White, Levante Davis. A lot of dudes I study and I try to learn, try to learn a little bit of game from. But I definitely still want to be my own person. So one day somebody can, be live and talking to y'all and be like, I want to, I want to be like Jaylan Alexander, something like that. So, but I definitely look at those guys and learn things from them.
Well, you mentioned Ray Lewis as a guy you look up to. Will you be doing the squirrel dance sack celebration after a sack this season?
Nah, man, I ain't gonna take his little celebration. I'm gonna come with my own though, but he got a nice little celebration though. I did that a few times when I was younger or something.
And we got a few more questions to wrap up. This is another one we like to ask everybody. It's really interesting to see the names people come up with.
Yes, sir.
Who are the best few players that you've played against in your collegiate career?
That I played with or against?
Well, you can
Both.
give us a little bit of both.
Ooh, I played with. I mean, Rondell Moore. He raw on the field. Uh, David Blau. He was a good quarterback. I like him. I like him. And what's crazy is like I didn't really realize when I was younger how important he really was until till I got older. He was nice. I like him. I didn't get a chance to play with Jawan. That was the year when I was in high school, but I definitely like him. Marcus, Derrick, Lorenzo. Those some guys I played with that was nice. We played against though. Rashad Bateman. We didn't play against all type J.K. Dwayne Haskins. We didn't play against a lot of dudes. Penn State. We didn't play against Penn State. There's a lot of dudes I done played against, but it's fun because I watched Big Ten growing up. So it's like crazy. I played in Big Ten, but it's nice though.
Yeah, I mean that I thought this one would be interesting given how you're a Big Ten player. So I mean, you go against top competition every single week, and that shows with how many Big Ten players go to the NFL.
Exactly. We, in my opinion, I feel like we the best conference in the country. I don't, SEC could think what they want, but we definitely the best in the country. So it's definitely a lot of talent coming up out of there. And it's nice, man. It's nice. It's fun to play here. It's a blessing to play in the Big Ten. I'm just glad, I got this opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, definitely in contention for the best, if not the best for sure. But so our last question is one that we like to ask everyone because it just allows us to leave off on an inspirational note for ourselves and for the people watching. And so it's a little bit of a tough one because I mean, you'll see the nature of it, but it's definitely a good one. And so, what is the best piece of advice that you've really ever received in your football career, be it from a coach, a teammate, a parent, or anyone?
Really, I received a lot of advice. My mom gives me good advice. She's really on to my game, so excuse me. She gives me a lot of advice. My coaches then gave me a lot of good advice, but a few that I really stick with is, when I'm on the field, I've always stuck with this one: play fast, but be patient. So and to me, that's play fast, get to the ball fast, be sideline to sideline, break fast, get to that tackle fast, but be patient, see everything, open your eyes, make sure you see what you see, and then you go. So that's something that's always stuck with me. Another thing, uh, be a pro before you are already a pro. Prepare like a pro, because as long as you prepare like a pro, you're gonna be on top of your game. Yeah, you're gonna mess up here and there, but as long as you prepare like a pro, you're gonna be aware of those mistakes. You gonna know why those mistakes happen. Um, really, I got a lot. I got a lot more really, but any emotional motivational things is really I tell myself, and that's really just keep pushing, get better every day, 1% better every day. Uh, you know, that's really much. That's pretty much it. And just be yourself. That's really it. Believe in yourself, and don't tell no. Don't let nobody tell you cannot do nothing. And, why can't it be you? That's one thing I've always, because I never been that top person. I never been, you know, like y'all see now. I'm not really like they don't say I'm about to get first team, all big team. So like I'm the underdog. I like working, and I like when that opportunity comes, I'm gonna take it because it's here. So it's just like your opportunity gonna come. Why can't it be you? So that's why I stick with that and I stay on those things and try to motivate myself every day, day in day out.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's great. I mean, why not you? I think that's a great piece of advice for anyone, regardless of sports, anything really.
Anything. Why can't you be the president? Why can't you be the next doctor, the next great, this? Why you can't be the next, the person to do anything great? Like, why can't it be you? And that's I just stick with that, you know. And anybody can take that. Anybody can say that to themselves. Go in the mirror, wake up. Why can't it be me? Why can't I do this today?
I think that's definitely a fantastic note to leave off on for anyone watching. Just whatever your dream is, go chase it. Because why can't it be you? I mean, here we've got Jaylan, who's a
That's
season away from the NFL, playing in the Big Ten, playing the game he loves that he's played since he was 5 years old. So man, it's been a pleasure to have you on. Thank you for sharing all of this
Thank you
knowledge
for
and
having me,
insight with
man.
us.
Thank you for having me, man. It's a blessing, man. Thank you for this opportunity. It's been great talking to you guys, man. Just giving advice and talking about my game. It's definitely been a good experience.
Yeah, thanks again. Good luck this season. We'll be sure to keep in touch. Maybe talk again around draft season.
Yes, sir. Definitely. We can set it up. We're gonna talk.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
See you later.
I'm gonna talk to y'all, boy.